Do you love Jesus? My name is Dr. Bill Payne, the pastor of First Methodist Church in Live Oak, Florida. It's Memorial Day, and I am here in Louisville, Kentucky, celebrating this awesome day with my family. I remember Jesus saying, "Greater love has no man than this, that he lay down his life for his friends." This is one of the most incredible statements in the whole world. On Memorial Day, we look at all the people who have died, who have given their life in defense of our country. And, you can go to D.C. and you can look at the names on the Vietnam Wall. You can think of your relatives. You can think of every veteran who's been shot and crippled and died ultimately because of his injuries, or died an early life because of his injuries. And you can feel a huge debt of gratitude. And each of those people made a tremendous contribution to the welfare of our country and for their posterity and our posterity. Yet, when it's all said and done, there's only one man who can say that he died for the whole world. Jesus gave his life as a ransom, as a sacrifice to save the entire world. Many people have done heroics that saved large numbers of people, turned the tide of a war or a battle, and have done awesome things that deserve great credit. But nobody in all of history has saved the entire world except Jesus. Yet, nonetheless, we still think about those people on this day who have given great sacrifices. Some of them are relatively unknown. One of those is Lance Corporal Fribley. I went to his home back in 2003 on a casualty assistance call, and I met with his family. They didn't know I was coming, and I was coming with a Marine officer to tell them that their son had been killed in a combat mission in Iraq, Fallujah, Iraq. He was in an amphibious attack vehicle, assault vehicle, and it was shot through, and he and several other people in that vehicle were killed. He didn't really die a heroic death, but he died in the line of combat, and he died in the service of his country. He died before he had an opportunity to live his life. Well, when I got there to tell the parents what had happened, God had already told them. And I remember knocking on the door somberly, waiting to make that call. I'd made that call so many times before as a Navy chaplain, as a Marine Corps officer, chaplain serving in the Marine Corps. And it's an awful feeling that you have when you have to tell a wife or a family that their loved one has been killed. And the family was there waiting for me. And they said, "We've been expecting you. We stayed home from work today because we thought you might be coming." And after we made the call and talked to them, I asked them, "How did you know we were coming?" "Well, God told us that our son had died, and we knew that you'd be here today to make the notification." Well, a couple of days later, the funeral was held at the school auditorium, gymnasium. And I can tell you, there wasn't an empty seat. There were probably 1,000 people in that gymnasium. It was packed. And we had a beautiful service sending him off. And then as we went in the procession to the place where he was going to be buried, the roads, all of the roads were filled and lined with people who were wanting to pay their honor to this young Marine. They were young children waving flags. They were mothers pushing baby carriages. There were old men saluting. Veterans who were wearing their uniforms that they had worn when they were in the military. Many of them were also wounded veterans. All of these people were paying honor to Lance Corporal Fribley, who died in Fallujah. They didn't know him, but they understood what his sacrifice meant. And because of it, they wanted to honor his memory and honor what it represented. It was such a moving moment. After I completed the service, I remember there were many national news organizations present who wanted to interview me. And I had never been interviewed on a CNN or any of those news organizations before. What a special event. You know, America shows its veterans that their sacrifice mattered by honoring them, not only on Memorial Day, but all year long, by keeping the memory of America alive, by striving to make America great. Likewise, we as Christians, we have an obligation to honor Jesus for what he has done for us. He says, greater love has no man than this, that he lay down his life for his friends. Then he tells them, see what I've done for you? If you love me, you got to love one another. You got to keep my commandments. You got to show the world that I matter. And on this Memorial Day, I want to ask you not only to think about our country, but to think about our God and how you can live your life in a way that's going to honor the gift that he has given to us, the gift of salvation. If you love Jesus and if you're thankful to him for what he's done, not just for you, but for the world, then live your life so that the world knows he matters. God bless you in the name of Jesus.